What's up, everyone, and welcome back or welcome. This is your first visit. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Matt. On this channel, I review brand new cars. This right here is 2026 Volvo XC40. The trim that I have for you today is Core, which is a base trim with a B5 engine configuration. And thanks to Volvo of Daytona Beach, I'm going to be able to take you on a complete tour of it. We're going to check it out together from the exterior, interior, technology, and the test drive. That's something you enjoy watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more automotive content. Now let's get back to this. Well, the XC40 was introduced originally in 2017. Then in 2024, it got a facelift, and this is the newest generation of it, 2026 model year. It competes in the subcompact, a luxury SUV market. So if you're shopping maybe for a BMW X1, Mercedes-Benz GLA, or Audi Q3, this is the direct competition to it. Well, let's dive into this base trim level. And it has a very simple yet elegant design, typical to the Volvo brand. Now we have a long hood with some indents on both sides. We also have a brand new color. They call it the Forest Lake. This kind of a greenish color. It looks really, really good. As far as the headlamps, we have the LED turn signals and daytime running lamps, and those are in the shape of this Thor's hammer, so typical to the brand. We also have the LED headlamps up on top and the high beams. Now, if you go for the higher end trim, you'll get a fog lamps right where this trim piece is. Not on this base trim though. Shiny black grille with the huge Volvo logo. Now the arrow is pointing to where the latch for the hood is, and the bottom of it is finished in the matte black color. Now let's pop the hood open. Let's see what powers it up. So the B5 configuration is a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, direct injection turbocharged engine with the 48-volt mild hybrid system that delivers 247 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in just about 6.1 seconds, so pretty impressive. This vehicle is all-wheel drive too. Now, Volvo brought back the base trim featuring the B4 configuration, which is also a 2-liter, 4-cylinder direct injection turbocharged engine, but that delivers 195 horsepower, still made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it is a front-wheel drive. So if you want to save yourself a couple $1,000s, you can go for the cheaper option as well. What else we have underneath the hood? We have the hood struts, one on each side. Surprised that we don't have the sound insulation, but we'll check out the quietness of the cabin at the end of this video. And so typical to Volvo, we have this dual latch for that better safety and security. And see, that latch is right here, and that's exactly what the arrow is pointing. And of course, as far as the dimensions, we have the total width of 73.7, height at 65 inches, total length of 174.8, and the wheelbase is at 106.4. So definitely a subcompact SUV. I actually like this Forest Lake color. It looks really sharp, especially with this dark theme. Now we have the 18-inch rims, which are black and polished aluminum, and then the size of the tires is 235 by 55. Some matte black trim around the wheel wells and at the very bottom of the vehicle, but right on top we have the shiny black mirror covers, and then we have the turn signals as well as the blind spot assist on the inside here. Everything around the windows is blacked out. Now we have an added panoramic sunroof. That's a $1,000 option, so it doesn't come standard on that Ford trim. And we have the low profile roof rails on this particular model. Now the proximity entry system on all 4 doors and foldable mirrors, and then I can unlock it as long as the key is somewhere on you. I can unlock this vehicle from any of the 4 doors here. Now the gas tank door is on the passenger side. Before we get there, let's take a look at this back end. Again, very characteristic to the brand. We have these long LED tail lamps, but if you look inside of here, the actual tail lamps are incandescent light bulbs. Not sure why Volvo is doing that, but we have the LED turn signals and the rest of it. Now here are the reflector lights, XC40 on one side, Volvo that's spelled out through that middle of the gate, B5 all-wheel drive, that's the configuration. We have an exposed wiper and up on top a third brake light in this gate spoiler. And moving on to the bottom of it, you see that the matte black continues at the very bottom. We see some shiny black as well. Now, the gas tank door on the passenger side, we have 26 is the combined gas mileage, 23 and 30 are the numbers. Well, let's open this gate up and let's see what happens on the interior. We can do it several different ways. Of course, one of the ways is to push the button on the remote, and then, yes, it is a power lift gate. Right behind the seats, we have about 20 cubic feet of cargo storage, which surprisingly looks larger than that. That goes up to 58 if you fold down the seats, which you can do it. They're 60-40 split. There are no levers or anything like this to help you do that, so you can actually have to go inside of the cabin and unlock it. I'll actually lower down this cargo cover and see you unlock it and drop it, and here you go. You can do that even from the very back as long as you have long arms. 58 cubic feet of cargo space. That's how it looks. What's happening underneath this floorboard? We have the temporary use spare tire and then the tools to help you change that as well, so you're not going to get stranded on the road. And of course, this cargo cover comes standard. Well, let's go inside and take a look at what we have for passengers. And as far as the back seat, let me see if I can fit inside of here. I am 6 feet tall for the point of reference, and wow, surprisingly big for the class of this vehicle. It is a subcompact SUV. I adjusted this front seat to my regular driving position. I have about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches in front of my legs. I also have plenty of shoulder room and headroom, even with this panoramic sunroof. And as far as the rest of this interior, starting on this door panel, this is all nice and soft. Okay, we have some hard plastic here and a different looking trim in the middle. And of course, this recycled material right on the inside, that's also for some sound dampening as well. So we have the window control. And the second option that this vehicle has is it has an upgraded upholstery. So instead of the man-made leather, we have the actual leather interior. And it costs you another $1,000 as far as the upgrade. Right in the middle, you have the console that opens up with the 2 cup holders. And then we have the vents in this middle console and the regular 12-volt, or actually no, 2 USB Type-C ports right here. We also have this bump, which is pretty substantial right there in the middle, so 2 people can definitely fit in comfortably. The third one right in the middle, maybe a child or so. And then we have more storage in form of this netting in the seat backs. Illumination is up on top, and then of course we have this panoramic sunroof. But before we go inside, I want to point out to the sticker. So we have the overall vehicle score is a 5-star safety rating. This is by the NHTSA, which is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Total MSRP 46,095, 1,100 for leather upholstery and panoramic roof. Those are the only 2 options on this vehicle. Let's listen to the sound of the closing door from the exterior. Pretty good. We'll do it again from the interior. But let's take a look at this front door panel. So the same kind of deal, with the exception of we have an addition of the wood trim right there in the middle, 2 memory seat settings, window, mirror, lock controls, and then of course we have this recycled material felt lining for better sound insulation as well. Now, as far as the seats, we have the power adjustment on the driver's seat only, manual adjustment on the passenger seat, but the driver adjustment also includes the 4-way lumbar support. The seats are a little bit more bolstered. I like this leather upholstery. And then here's how you access the hood. You can also pop this gate open. Nothing too crazy as far as the pedals. Now, as far as the steering wheel functionality, we have the tilt. We have the telescoping. Yep, it's a manual option. And let's get inside. I'll show you the rest of this interior. Starting with the sound of the closing door from the interior here. Just as good as from the outside. And here's the interior of this 2026 Volvo XC40. Now, if you've seen the 2025 or 2024, there's really no changes. Now we have the soft touch materials right on top of the dashboard, the wood grain, and we have this 9-inch screen for the infotainment system. As far as the steering wheel, a decent size. It's thicker right here where it should be. I kind of wish there was a little bit more thicker, maybe with the golf ball texture or something like this. This is very plain, but so is the rest of this vehicle, which could be a good thing if you like that type of stuff. So now the cruise control, which is the adaptive cruise control, is standard even on this lowest trim, and this is where you adjust it. On the right hand side, you have the volume adjustment as well as seek and track, and then you can make a few changes to the configuration of the instrument cluster. So this is the biggest screen in here, and it's not very much configurable if you ask me. I mean, there's a lot, the competition is not sleeping, and if you look at the MBUX versus that, or even the BMW's infotainment system, you'll find it much more advanced. But you have the navigation system here, or you can have nothing, or you can have navigation system, and that's pretty much it. On the right hand side, you have a tachometer. Left hand side, you have the speedometer. Also, speedometer is displayed in the digital form right on the left hand side. Miles to empty, gear indicator, battery charge level, and this is it. This is what we have here. So if we change this to nothing, this is how it looks like. You can also see the trip computer and reset it, and that's about it. All right, moving on to the infotainment system. So it is a fairly small screen. It is a vertical screen, and it's surrounded by two large vents. It is Google built, like in most of the new Volvos. Let's take a look and see. So first of all, because I am an Android user, but in order to use the Android Auto, I'd have to connect it with a cable. So it doesn't have the wireless Android Auto capabilities, which, it sucks, right? It's not good. As far as the Apple CarPlay, I think you can connect that with a cable as well. That is very strange. I wish that Volvo, come up to the 21st century and century. Is that how you said century? And give us some more configurations here, more capabilities. Okay, well, let's go back to this main screen, whichever one that is. I guess you press the home button, and this is your main screen, so you can see the Google Maps. They want you to use their Google Maps. And then there's some recently used apps that I've used. Bluetooth media player. As you can see, my other phone is connected to it right now. And then if you hit this button, you're going to come up with more apps, right? So you can see some apps that are installed on it. Radio, and as far as the radio system, the base radio system that actually only shows the FM stations in here, but there are other sources. Of course, you can stream it. And go back to this main screen. You have the Sirius XM, and I believe you have the AM radio app as well. So other options include the Google Maps, Messages, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Settings, Driving Journal. Let's go to Settings and see what we have. This one opens up, kind of like your owner's manual. Settings, Driving, you can switch that from the standard drive mode to the off-road, and the steering feel from the soft to firm. And those are the only two, like the driving dynamics that you can adjust to it. Now, as far as the safety assistance, you have the lane keeping aid, ready to drive notification, roadside information, speed camera, audio warning. This is turned off right now, and we're going to leave it as such. But you can get more apps too from the Google Play Store if you'd like to. You just have to sign in to get it. Now let's go back to settings, because I want to check out a couple of things here. So as far as the controls, we have the light and display controls, locking controls, mirrors and wipers, interior light intensity, headrest fold, wireless device charging, that's on, and sound. You can adjust the sound system. Now, the sound, this one has the bass stereo, which is not bad, but I heard that the Harman Kardon on the higher trims sounds really amazing. So connectivity, and then again, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, profiles, privacy, system information. It opens up to have more adjustments as far as this infotainment system, updates, information, etc. And then we have Google. As you can see right at the bottom here, this is where you can also adjust your temperature settings. Okay, you can go low or high. You can see the temperature display. And you can do that for driver and passenger. You can also turn on and then that opens up so you can recirculate air, rear window defroster, front window defogger and stuff. So I mean, basically everything is included in this screen, which some people like, some people not so much. Although you have some shortcuts here for the front window defogger, rear window defrosters, seek, track, play, pause, and hazard lights. But let's go back here. The other thing that I want to check is, of course, the rear view camera. And unfortunately, I'm disappointed because it doesn't take up the entire screen. And unless there's settings here, wheel guidance and volume, those are the only things for the camera. The quality is not bad. Okay, we also have the silhouette of the car, and we have the standard parking sensors on all trims right now. Trajectory lines that are moving as I move the steering wheel, so that's not bad. But having all this real estate and only utilizing the bottom portion of it, I think it's just a waste of space. And I can't turn it off, of course, because I am in reverse here. So put it back in park, and that's your rear view camera. Scrolling down here, we also have the 12-volt power outlet, maximum 120 watts, 2 USB Type-C ports, wireless charging pad, which is a decent size. It can even fit my Ultra phone. This is not it, but the other one is. And then we have the regular shifter. If you go up the trims, you can have this crystal shifter. This one has just a regular one. I think they could make it a little bit nicer. Some kind of a satin material. And I actually have to compliment Volvo on this because they're not using the piano black as such, and they're not using this cheap plastic. This one has just a little bit of sheen of it, but it feels good. Parking brake, brake hold. You have the cup holders. You have your garbage bin. Yep, that's what it is. So you put your garbage here, so you don't have to put it like in the footwell over there. And then if you're done, you can take it out, dump it, put it back in. You have more storage right in this middle console. Opens up, nicely leather wrapped top. Regular mirrors, no digital mirror on this one. We have the LED lights. And of course, this panoramic sunroof that slides open, getting some air and a light into this vehicle interior, making it feels nice, light, and airy. And then you can also slide it one more time to open up this front panel of this roof. We have the windscreen and illuminated mirrors. And this is it, guys. This is the interior of this 2026 Volvo XC40. Let's talk pricing. Take it for a spin. And of course, let's talk pricing before we take it for a spin. So we have 3 different trim levels within the XC40. We have the Core, Plus, and Ultra. Core is the one that I'm sitting in right now, but it's also available with a lesser engine option, the B4 engine option with 194 horsepower, 221 pound-feet of torque, and that is at $41,295. By the way, that one is all front-wheel drive. If you want to add this powertrain, you spend $2,700. That gives you more horsepower and all-wheel drive. Money well spent, in my opinion, but I'm not here to spend your money. Now, the Plus is the second level up at $45,295, also available with the B4 engine with the front-wheel drive, or for $3,400 extra, you can get the B5 all-wheel drive gas. So you get standard panoramic sunroof, you get the interior illumination at the high level, air purifier, and a remote cabin pre-cleaning. So what they did with this, you get the panoramic sunroof, you get the leather interior, you get the B4 or the B5 all-wheel drive, and you're still at $46,000 with the destination. So you're still cheaper than the Plus. So maybe that's the way to do it, right? And of course, the Ultra is the most equipped version, and that's $52,645. That's a $7,000 jump from the Plus, but it comes standard with all-wheel drive, comes standard with the a more powerful engine option that has the Harman Kardon premium sound, pilot assist, and more. It also is available with that black edition as well. Let's take this for a spin and let's see how that performs. We're going to turn it around. We're going to check out the driving dynamics. We're going to see how that turns, accelerates, and brakes, and bring it back to the dealership to kind of sum it all up. One thing right away, when you get into the XC40, you'll notice that there's no shortage of room. The cabin is very spacious. You sit up a little bit higher, but it's also it's cozy, if you know what I'm saying. It's not like one of those cabins which is huge and hollowy. I mean, it's got just enough space. You sit up higher, but you don't feel overwhelmed with the size of this vehicle, which, you know, is a subcompact SUV. However, as an example, you get into like the X1, great vehicle, and it feels much smaller. The Q3 feels much smaller. The GLA, it feels very similar to this, but I have a feeling that it sits just a little bit lower than the XC40. Now we're gonna do some merging in traffic once we get on this road here. Very nice. There's no issues with merging in traffic with this vehicle. Let's put some shades on, get this sun out of my eyes. But very nice. It's more of a linear acceleration too, even though it's a turbocharged engine. I believe that 48 mild hybrid has something to do with that, but there's no jerkiness, there's no turbo lag that you can feel on that. So we're gonna stop at the main road, which is the higher speed limit, and I'm gonna gun it to see what the acceleration looks like. But so far, very smooth, very nice driving dynamics. Well, the good thing is there's nobody behind me. I'm stopped right here at this main road, guys. I'm at 0. Let's hit it. Yep, 60 miles an hour, no issue. Very nice. You can feel the gears shifting because we have this 8-speed automatic transmission. The noise is not bad. I mean, it's you can hear the engine, of course you can, but it's not something that's going to distract you from having like a regular conversation like you can in some of the less powerful vehicles. That's why when I said that $2,700 for the all-wheel drive and more horsepower would be a benefit to me, I haven't driven the B4, so yeah, maybe I should do that before I say something. However, you know, with almost 50 horsepower less, this one seems like a better option. Probably more quieter, it doesn't work as hard to get to the speed. Also, the B4 engine configuration is 2 seconds slower 0 to 60, so versus 6.1 seconds has 8.1 seconds. But as far as driving it, now with Volvos, the seats are a little bit firmer, so that's something that you'll need to figure out if you like it or not. I like the adjustments of it. I like that 4-way lumbar support. To me, that would be good. Now, of course, you know, time would tell if I like it on the 3 or 5 hour trip, but so far for a short drive like this, that's not bad at all. The steering is nice and precise, and I have it in the soft setting. So I'm actually gonna switch that steering wheel feel to firm setting, and let's see how that's gonna affect the driving dynamics. And also because it has this mild hybrid system, that auto start stop feature, you can barely feel that, which is really nice. All right, so as far as the steering, yeah, it makes a difference, believe it or not. And this would be my preferred setting as far as the steering wheel is. Nice corner here. Take it up a little bit higher speed than we should maybe. Yeah, hugs this road. The suspension is firm enough to keep this vehicle in place without being too stiff. Well, guys, in the world where everything needs to be shiny and colorful and bigger, you know, Volvo is simple as far as the design, as far as their limited capabilities of the infotainment system. But I think when you're, you know, shopping for a vehicle, the most important thing should be safety, and it definitely has that with a 5-star safety rating, as well as the functionality. And it is a very functional interior. It is big, it is quick, it has some very nice and quiet driving dynamics, so no complaints here. Well, let me know what you think about this brand new 2026 XC40. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video is helpful. I hope you will found something that you didn't know about this vehicle. And if you did, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more automotive content, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.